What's up, Trash Talkers? Here at Veteran Trash Talk, we actually vet our sponsors. We don't just take their money and run like a Butterbar lieutenant lost on a land nav course. Are you finally ready to plant your flag and claim your territory? Maybe it's time to use that VA loan to buy a home. Or hell, maybe you're looking to refinance and put some extra cash in your pocket for more questionable life decisions. Either way, the Veterans Mortgage Source, powered by Canopy Mortgage, has your six. Look, buying a home or refinancing can feel like getting overrun on a bad op. Chaotic, confusing, and full of obstacles that make no damn sense. That's where Corey and his team come in. They're like the QRF of home loans, ready to pull you out of the chaos and guide you to the best program for you. And trust me, they'll answer all your questions. Yeah, even the dumb ones. Whether you're a salty vet or fresh out of barracks still trying to figure out where your TA-50 went. Great service, solid rates, and a team that actually understands the military life. That's why all of us here at Veteran Trash Talk trust them to do right by every veteran and their family. Ready to lock it in? Give Corey a call or shoot him a text at 808-699-7874. That's 808-699-7874. Don't wait. Unless you like overpaying and getting treated like an FNG. The Veterans Mortgage Source is powered by Canopy Mortgage, LLC. All loans are subject to credit and property approval.
What's up, Trash Talkers? Listen, it's impossible to fight, okay, if you don't know what you're fighting for. Does that make sense? Like, if you're in the dumps and you're struggling with mental health, things of that nature, it's going to continue tearing you down, all right? Because you're consistently trying to fight something, which is that demon, which is usually something from the past, right? Maybe that why needs to be fighting for your future. Let that be your why. Get the hell up and start fighting for your future. Stop fighting things that happened in the past. Easier said than done, right? Go seek help. It's okay not to be okay. A lot of people need to hear this. You are more of a warrior and a fighter if you stand up and say, hey, this has to stop. I need to go seek help. The stigma, everything has changed. It's okay not to be okay.
And so my honesty cap is dedicated to a little, we'll call it a public service announcement for civilians and other people in the military. There are a few people that you should always take their stories with a grain of salt. Vegans, CrossFitters, and special operations guys that tell you that they were special operations without being prompted. The first thing they say is, yeah, I used to be soft. Right. The only unicorn in that entire group is like a special operations guy that was like a vegan and did CrossFit. That guy's probably going to stay quiet for a little bit longer because he's confused as what he should talk about first. That's the only reason. Right. Anybody that says that they were soft without being prompted or without it being like a normal part of your communications is probably either an enabler or going to tell you a bunch of stuff that's not exactly true.
What's up, Trash Talkers? What's up, Gruntworks Nation? Big Earl. You heard Dave talk. You heard Buddy talk. Now, Buddy's all about, he is a Green Beret and he's Special Forces and yada, yada, yada. But he will not tell you that unless, he really, really likes you and he's made dinner for you. However, what Veteran Trash Talk does is we bring a lot of light to the veteran community, the first responder community. We promote that what we're doing well, all right, whether we're running for office, we started a business, nonprofit, all those things. Veteran Trash Talk is a super clean page. We got Gruntworks if you want to go there and raise a little hell a little bit, but we are here to promote veteran-owned businesses. So the show you are about to watch is a veteran or veterans or a spouse of a veteran or a child of a veteran that's doing great things in the community, and we need your help promoting them and getting them all all the success that they need. All right, guys, enjoy the show.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
What's up, Trash Talkers? What is up, Gruntworks Nation? Welcome to Season 4, Episode 16 of the Trash Talk Hour. Special guest today is Army veteran and former Army officer Zach Farkas. And joining me today is Buddy. Happy Saturday, y'all. What's up?
What's up, guys? Where's Nick? Where'd Nick go? Where's Nick?
I don't know. Nick schedules guests and then doesn't show up. Yeah.
Where's Nick? Is he behind Zach? Maybe it's behind Zach's frame. Maybe if we look on the sides, maybe we could find Nick.
Maybe we'll see him. I don't know. He did send me a picture. I think he's in Annapolis. Well, he is in Annapolis. He was on a boat. Enjoying the time out there. So
on a boat in Annapolis. What do you know?
Yeah.
That is the place to be on a boat because there are so many naval fellows that will take you on some type of boat and do Navy stuff, like swab the deck or whatever it is they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing good things out there. I know he's doing some big things with Natalie, something with getting coached up there, checking out the Naval Academy run team, athletics team, whatever it is.
What does he need to be there to get coached? He doesn't need coaching.
Yeah.
He's already past his prime of running. He doesn't need any coaching. He's not doing it any longer. So he could just send her. And then from what I heard, he was having problems with his connection. Like he couldn't.
Yeah.
Because Walmart, or not Walmart, but Walmart has the free Wi-Fi. I guess McDonald's, free Wi-Fi.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Buy a little soda, if you will, a pop if you're in Annapolis, I guess. Yeah, whatever.
It is what it is.
Good job, Nick.
If you're watching this in the chat, tell us where you're watching from.
Nick is not watching it, because he doesn't have any SIG. He's got no SIG on his pager.
It is what it is. But anyway, if you're watching, let us know where you're watching from. Dave's mom is watching. Hi, Mom. Love you. Thanks for tuning in. And, before we get into the honesty cap and stuff, can we talk about the World Cup real quick? Can we talk about the U.S. and how phenomenally well they're playing? Or do you guys not watch soccer at all? You're like, nah.
Yeah, can we talk about something else real quick? Just real quick.
Okay. You want to pivot already. Let's go.
When did Turkey become Turkey?
I know. That was weird. Turkey-A. They call him Turkey-A.
They call him Turkey, It's just turkey, guys. Don't church it up. It's just turkey.
Yeah.
It's just turkey. Kebab people. They're just kebab people.
They're on their way home now. They're on their way home now, so we're not going to have to hear it anymore. But
they'll be eating shawarma before the show is over. Yeah.
I caught that too, man. I was like, am I the only one?
No. Whoa. Hold on. Now, they have always called themselves Turkey, but Germany's also always called themselves Deutschland. We're not over here saying it's England versus
Deutschland.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
They might have done a rebrand.
I think they did. It didn't help them out because they played like shit.
We're not going to forget the Armenian genocide, Turkey, and that's why you're going home from Group D. Boom, take that. Yeah. Freaking.
But let's talk about it real quick. If you are watching, this shirt is flying off the shelves. All right. It's the World Cup 2026 USA. We all know that the USA is obviously not going to win the World Cup. All right. So we need to get out.
First of all,
it's not going to happen.
Hold on.
Not a chance.
Not a huge deal, but about 80 years ago, there were some Japanese people and some German people that were like, they're never going to win the World War. And then boom, what happened? 1945 came around. Bang. We win it. I'm not taking us out. Don't make that face, Zach. We won World War II.
So I'm going to call it. I think it's going to be.
I was looking up what's going on with the World Cup because I have no idea.
It's been very entertaining.
Basically, we just made it through the first round into the second round. It's really not that big a deal. To be
It's
honest,
a round of 32 now. Now it's elimination. You win or there's no draw, nothing. And we came in first in our group, which is great. And we beat teams like Paraguay, who had to beat Brazil and Argentina to even get into the World Cup. So the team is on fire. They're playing extremely well together. I'm proud of these boys. I think we play Bosnia next week on Wednesday. So it'll be a tight game.
Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Yeah.
Both of them at the same
Yep.
time. That seems unfair. Two teams, whatever.
But they've been playing really well. It's been fun to watch. But I will call it, I think Spain, Argentina, or France, one of those three will win the World Cup. Probably Argentina. Messi has been on fire. Messi has been slaying it. He scored like 5
Messi, Mbappe, and there's another one.
Ronaldo?
No, Ronaldo hasn't really done all that well. But Messi, Mbappe, I think there's one other guy that are in it for the golden foot. But but what's that other French guy? He scored 3 goals against Norway, like in the first half, like a hat trick. First half. I am saying
real quick, Norway. Can we talk about the Norway fans when they're rowing the boat?
Oh, it's
when
good.
You're in your stadium and they're like the sound it makes. It's pretty badass, like Viking shit. You know,
I'm not gonna lie. I still don't like soccer. I still think it's one of the dumbest sports known to man. That being said, I'm all in for this whole, like, all of the other shit that's going on with it. Like the foreign fans that have come to Nashville and are like having a good time, and like the Scottish fans in Boston. I'm a fan of a good time, and they look like they're having a
blast.
Yeah,
for sure. They're, and I like it. I don't really follow it as much when I moved over here, but the World Cup, and we only get it every 4 years. So
I would say you should probably listen to your mom and dad. Not a huge deal.
Yeah.
No negative.
I'm sorry, Mom. I would love for the U.S. to. I think they'll win the next game, and then depending on who they're playing after that, it'll be. But they've made it farther than anybody ever expected. So got to give credit. Credit is due.
They did make it. They made it to the semifinals in 1930. I read that the other day.
Iraq was in the World Cup. That was the first time in 60 years.
Yeah, Iran was there too.
Hot. Iran was there too.
Yeah, they were also there.
They're also going home now. Yeah.
Which is.
I'll leave it at that.
Maybe Pete will give him a ride. We'll just drop him off. You know what I'm saying? Out of the plane. Get out.
Anyway, what you got for us, buddy? Before we get to our guests, you got something funny? You got an honesty cap?
You know what? So the other day, it's probably 2 weeks ago. I went to the gym on post, and after I go to the gym, I'm old enough now that I can go to the sauna. I'm allowed, and I'm not to the point where I'm just rubbing oil on my knees, which I have seen some older veterans do. But I am old enough that I can go in there and just sit. Well, I was sitting there, and there was clearly like an E5 and an E4 that were also in the sauna, sweating it out. And they were having a conversation. And I tell you,
the videos you sent us,
the video that I sent
this is good.
This E5 was dropping knowledge bombs on this E4. And he was hitting them with all kinds of like good stuff. Like this guy was talking about this girl that was pretty toxic for him. And he was like, I don't even know what's going to happen when I see her again. And this E5 was like, have you ever been around poison ivy? Well, you think you're ever going to see it again? Well, when you see it again, you think you're going to rub that shit all over your taint, your face, and like all that? No, you're going to stay away from it. This E4 hits him back with, not me. I probably will roll in it. I probably will because I love her. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Then they kept on talking, and the guy finally said, and this is the quote that I took away, and I've actually thought about it more than I probably should have for the last couple of weeks. But this a little bit older guy tells him, he says, he's like, you're supposed to accept them. Like the little E4 was like, you're supposed to accept people for what they are, and this, that, and the other. And the C5 goes, no, you're supposed to accept people for what they have been, but then expect them to be better. Like, you don't have to always accept people for like to continually do the same fucked up shit. Like, yeah, you screwed up in the past, but you're supposed to be better. Like, you're supposed to be getting better. And I have thought about that. Like, this dude has lived rent free in my head for probably 2 weeks now, because it's super true. But then you hear about all of this like toxic masculinity and like, oh, like you can't be toxic and you're like, you mansplain and you like, to me, we talk about that, and yeah, masculinity or those traits that they're talking about in excess can be bad. But nobody ever talks about like erosive empathy, like empathy that like you can understand how somebody's feeling and you can feel bad for them, but you also have to understand that they made choices that got them to where they're at and how they're feeling bad. Like, so you have to balance those things and not just say, well, oh, I feel bad for you, so I'm going to get you out of every shitty situation, because all you do is make people dependent on their weak ass story and how terrible their life is because generally of their own decisions, and then they blame it
99.9% of the time.
If you don't do something for me and you don't feel bad for me, then you lack empathy. No, I don't lack fucking empathy. I understand that you feel bad, but that doesn't do anything to get you out of the situation. Like, what are you gonna do to be better? What are you going to do to fix what's screwed up? How are you going to change to be better? Like, that's not toxic. That's just normal logic. Like, if something's broken, you have to take the steps to fix it.
Yeah.
Your thoughts? I don't know.
I mean, I agree.
Well, there we go. Stamped off.
No, I think it starts with people. I think people can change. I think that's, some people think people can't. Some people think they can, and it just, they definitely can. But you still have to realize what they were when they were making the decisions. So
sometimes I wonder
it's all about personal accountability. It's all about personal accountability, and sometimes people need to be reminded, hey, you are capable of changing. Instead of doing the definition of insanity, just doing the same shit over and over and expecting different results. Like, you can definitely change, but some people do need that nudge a couple times. But you're absolutely right, buddy. But it all boils down to personal accountability. That's all it is.
Sometimes I think that's one of the things that we take from the military that people don't really they don't vibe with when we get out of the military, is that why we can be empathetic with people. We can also go, okay, well, like, I feel bad, but feeling bad for you is not going to do anything. So let's move on. Like, what are we going to do? And holding people to a standard is a different, like, it's not really a thing that you learn in the civilian world a lot. I don't know if there's a function that, like, if there's a forcing function in the civilian world like there is in the military, that, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of safety nets that there aren't in the, like, if you fuck up.
Yeah, because the military is an
you're going to
organization.
hear about it right away,
Yeah.
and then you're going to get berated about it for a long time. I don't know that that's a thing in the civilian world. Then again, I don't really swim in that water.
No, I don't think it is either. I think in the civilian world, it would just be like your family and friends trying to make you better, or the people you surround yourself with.
Make excuses for you. That's what I see. Like, more your family and friends try to like, oh, it's not your fault. That teacher you had in the second grade that didn't give you a gold star on every Thursday, that's the one. That's her fault. She's the one that did it to you. I don't know.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, well.
So
my weapons squad leader used to say the only person he was in competition with was the person he was yesterday. And I say that.
I love that
every morning.
That's a good one.
Yeah. That should be only that should always be the message. Like, your competition is you. Be a better version of yourself, you know.
Yeah.
All
And
day,
you're gonna
every day.
lose. You're gonna lose some against that version.
Yeah.
And you're gonna win some, but you gotta at least try to win.
Damn right.
Yeah.
And it's okay to lose, and it's okay to fail.
See,
People fear
NCOs
failure.
are some of the
That's the trouble.
smartest people on the fucking face of the fucking planet. Like now, that weapon squad quote is gonna be in my mind for at least fucking 2 weeks.
It's a good quote.
Yeah,
It's a good quote to have. Remind yourself every day, buddy.
Yeah.
I love you, man. I'll text you as well tomorrow and remind you of it. It'd be good.
do that. All right.
So real quick before we get to our guests, summer plans. You're going to Europe, right? You're gonna go meet up with Link and link up with Nick.
France. Yeah.
Nice.
We're gonna meet up in France. He's going to the Ardennes, and I am not. I'm gonna stay in the south of France, go to the lake, and go to.
I'm glad Nick is finally leaving the country and gets to experience the rest of the world. You know, he needs that. You know, I mean, he's been out of the country, but it's always been to the Middle East. You know, now he gets to, get some culture in him. You know, so I'm happy for you, Nick. Finally, spreading those wings and getting out of America for a little bit and go have fun watching Formula One. Yeah, it'll be a good time.
Yeah. Wait, he's going to the.
Oh yeah, they're going to the race. One of the races, I think, in Barcelona.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it is. Yeah, I didn't know what he was going to. I know he wasn't going to Monaco, but.
My oldest daughter is visiting from Germany, so we've had a blast. We drank a little too much yesterday. That's why I got this Bloody Mary going on. And then we're leaving for Hawaii next week, so we get to go see Tyler. Nice. We're stationed out there, so we're really excited about that. We'll be there for 7 days. I know 7 days is probably not enough, but, got to plan it out. There'll be a bunch of beach days. Maybe get a hike in, then that's about it. But
Zach,
yeah,
what do you got going on? Just work. He's like, I'm just working.
Grinding it out. Grinding it out.
Tell us about what you're doing, Zach. Tell the people that are watching, our viewers, who you are again. And tell us what you got going on, brother.
Yeah. So I'll just do a really quick background. Lucky enough to get stationed out in Hawaii. Bought my first house when I was 23 with the VA home loan benefit. Super cool. Rented out to a bunch of my friends. We had a good time. Refinanced that conventional. Bought my second place when I was 27. Got out when I was 28. 2 due loans. And then by the time I was 30, was the number 4 VA lender by volume in the country. So that was 2020. I stopped lending in 2022. I made, a decent amount of money between real estate investing and other types of investments. And then I spent like a year writing first checks into veteran-founded startups. I just graduated from Chicago Booth last year, like a year ago now, and now I have a startup. So,
what is Chicago Booth?
That is University of Chicago's business school.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and then I trained Corey, the sponsor of the podcast. So
shout out to Corey. He works really well with us as well. Shout out to our company, Armed Forces Across America. And we're gonna see you next week, Corey. We love it. Obviously you were his mentor, I'm assuming, like you said, or coached him at least. And Corey's amazing. So if you're watching, listening, you need a VA loan, hit up Corey. And then you can hit up us, and we have agents in every state, and we'll square you away. But what's this new thing you got going on? Some AI stuff? What are we talking about here?
Yeah. So, I think when I was lending, I treated like veteran home ownership like a mission, like a no-fail mission. And that was like ultimately kind of bad for me. I'm just being real.
Yeah.
I was super burnt out. Like I did 3.5 years of it. I would only take off like Super Bowl Sunday to go to Costco, and then like Thanksgiving Day were like the only 2 days. Like people would still call me on Christmas. So it was just a lot. I kind of gave myself away to that, and there was not a lot left. So like I said, I took some time for myself and really reflected on like the real estate process and why it burned me out. So my current company automates real estate transactions end to end. So essentially real estate agents or their transaction coordinator upload their purchase contract, all their documents. We read those documents, extract the actionable information, and then we run the entire transaction end to end with software.
So it's kind of like a TC, but it's all AI generated, basically. Or
yeah, and it's
for anybody that's
pretty
watching,
interesting.
TC would be a transaction coordinator for like a real estate team or somebody in the background that does all the paperwork and stuff.
Yeah.
Just wanted to throw that out there for the viewers. They're like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, so for
Driver and
context,
zombie.
oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry, yeah.
You're good, brother. You're good.
Yeah, so they do all the paperwork, they run the timeline. They're like if you bought a home, they're like, you probably don't even know their name, but they're the ones that you should be, arguably thanking the most. But yeah, we don't replace them. They're actually our power users. So lots like everybody's like, oh, you're trying to replace a TC. I'm like, no, I'm trying to help them, them real estate agents scale their business. And then it's really cool too, because along the way we educate like the client in a legally compliant manner. Because a lot of times real estate agents just sort of don't give the best explanation. They just kind of want to get to the closing table, not like trash talking them at all. But
yeah, for sure.
So
is this a nationwide program, or is this just focused on certain states? Because obviously different states have different laws with real estate. You got lawyer states, you got non-lawyer states. What does that look like?
Yeah, so it's right now we're just operating in Hawaii. So last month we closed like 10.5% of the transactions in the state on our platform.
Oh, nice.
Which is super cool. Yeah, but it's definitely, it's a grind. And then we're expanding to California in September. And then to your point, we train like our model essentially on that state's, laws and stuff. But then there's a second layer of that, and that is like the local business custom, which is a big part. And that's where a lot of like softwares get things wrong. So a lot of discovery, a lot of feedback from our users to get to an end product that they ultimately like. So
very cool. And again, I might have misheard that. Is it AI or is it it's AI?
Yeah, I mean, we use AI. I don't know. I think there's a spectrum of AI, I would say. But yeah, we certainly use it. But there's also a lot of like what I call deterministic infrastructure to make sure that we're 100% right, because you can't get anything wrong. So that's the more challenging piece.
That's what's up. What's up. So just for anybody that's watching, so I can get this straight too, from my perspective, obviously you say you're not getting rid of TCs for, realtors that are watching. So I'm an agent. I have my TC, and then she uploads all the documents in that system. It kind of generates it, from the contract to closing, everything. Does it connect with the title companies and lending? And then, wow.
Yeah. So
cool.
Everybody, it's kind of like everybody works from like a shared
like
space.
Like an ERM system or whatever. Yeah.
Everybody works from a shared space, because there's a ton of like, if you look at just like a purchase contract. So if I'm a buyer, right, my agent's probably going to fill out my purchase contract with me. They should be going over that with me. The buyer will sign it, then that agent will send it to the seller. Then the seller will download it, upload it to DocuSign. The seller signs it, then they have to download it, re-upload it to an email, send it back. And then it's like, that process happens for every single document. It's like, we have to download, we have to DocuSign, we have to send, they have to download, they have to DocuSign, they have to send. So there's a lot of digital whisper down the lane with the paperwork, which is like, if anybody's bought a home, it's kind of a shit show. And it's like, quite frankly, like maddening to try and keep track of all the paperwork. So we just make that more transparent. Collaborative is the word that we use. And then we educate the client about the process along the way. Again, like in a legal manner, in plain language.
Very cool. I like that. Yeah. And especially if you said you guys are done 10 to 20% of all the deals already in Hawaii. I mean, that's pretty phenomenal. And then expand to a state like California. And then if it goes really well. Yeah.
Yeah. Hawaii will do like 600 transactions a month. So like the percentage sounds good, but it's not actually like, we'll do like 60, 70 transactions. Whereas like California will close, I think it's like 30,000 a month. So just a lot. But like Hawaii is our pilot market. We wanted to work the kinks out before we went to a big market. That way, there's like a saying in tech, it's like you burn your first 10,000 users to get to your next 100,000. And like, you can't do that in real estate because it's a small community, people talk. And like, that's also just not like
Absolutely. You're done for
my life.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so yeah, we've worked out the kinks in Hawaii, and then we'll be expanding to California, which is pretty cool. So, and I never would have thought in a million years I'd have a tech company, you know, like
that's what's up.
Like 10 years ago, I was an infantry officer and like could not imagine it. Like, you know, so it's funny.
That's what's up. And then California, if it goes well, further expansion, or are you like, no, we're gonna stop here? Like,
oh no,
does it stop? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think the next like Zillow in prop tech is a company that like does the work. So yeah, we'll do, you know, I want to do all 50 states, but after we're done California and have some traction there, we'll hopefully raise some money and then expand nationally. So
very cool. I should have brought Megan on the show today. She would have loved to hear all this stuff too. She's the boss. She's my team lead. So
nice.
But yeah, it would have been cool.
Must be nice
awesome.
to live with your team lead.
Yeah.
Or the worst thing I can fucking imagine. Like, because if you don't get along at work, you got to go right back. Your boss is right at your house 24 hours a day.
It's been a blessing. It's been a blessing as an agent, like being a brand new agent when I got my license, like having her here. Yeah.
Bosses there. Sleeping bosses there. So many bosses just there the whole time.
It's cool. I love it. I admire Megan and her work, man. I do. And then, you know, all the questions that you have as a new agent, you know, she's right there. So it's a blessing, bro. It's a blessing. You know. That's what's up. That's exciting. So where can people look you up? You got a website for any of this? Obviously not yet, just still in its infancy.
Yeah, it's just relos.com. I mean, we're going through a trademark right now. So our website is intentionally vague, I would say. But like LinkedIn and like, I don't know. I mean, the other thing, and like, I think the thing that's like sort of more interesting is like going through, like the business is one thing, but like for like listeners or whatever, like starting a company, trying to get like venture backed and stuff like that. Like that is really, I would say like,
that a little bit. Talk about that, like what that looks like. You know, you get the idea and then you're just like,
I mean, to be honest, if you're trying to build capital to expand, how are you trying to build that? And then are you looking for people to invest and how would they do that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like that's definitely like the shittiest part. Are we allowed to curse on here? I'm assuming we are.
I've been cursing this whole time.
I hadn't paid attention. Yeah.
Say whatever.
You can say whatever the fuck you want. Just don't say Epstein. Cool. Epstein, they'll throw us off. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. That's like the shittiest part. Cause like, I think, you know, when I was done lending, like I mentioned, and I'm just super transparent. So hopefully these numbers don't seem weird or anything, but like, you know, I really wanted to help other vets like start companies. So I was like, okay, cool. $750K I put to the side, and I'm like, I ripped 7 checks into 7 veteran founded startups. Which some of those guys are super cool. If you want to have them on the pod, or I could talk to Nick about that or something like that. But yeah, for me, it was like writing those checks. I was like, okay, cool. This person's a vet. And they're making a huge sacrifice financially. A lot of them have family. I generally tried to keep them like above the age of 30 with families, because that's like, to me, you're showing what you're like sacrificing to do this. And that was sort of like good enough for me. But yeah, like the biggest mistake I made with starting the company was just assuming that I was like venture backable with my background. Right. So it's like, you know, I was going around, I'm like, yeah, I used to be the number 4 VA lender by volume, and I've written these checks, and I went to this, you know, really good business school, yada, yada, yada. And like, you know, they do not care about any of that stuff. So the fundraising's definitely super, super difficult. So, and I don't. So if anybody ever has questions about that, I have a bunch of like lessons learned about that. Like we still haven't necessarily done it. Like the company's mostly self-funded, and then friends and family and some of my professors at school. But yeah, I think we'll get there, you know, but it's definitely stressful.
That? Like, cause it's not like you can put like a GoFundMe or like something like that, because you also don't want to like throw anything proprietary out there. You know what I mean?
I don't worry too much about the proprietary stuff. Like, and I did this when I was lending too, is like, everybody was like, oh, like what's your secret? And I was like, fuck, answer the phone.
Yeah.
know, like it's like really that simple. Like for this, when people are like, oh, you have a competitor or someone can do it, and it's just like, I just don't worry about that. Like kind of back to the, like people kind of back to the, my weapon squad leader, like what's your competition? It's just like, as long as we're progressing as a company, like I'm happy, and that's the best we can do. Right. But there's nothing like, I mean, it's painstaking data labeling. So meaning like we go through Hawaii standard 66, there's 66 actionable contingencies that permeates into like 25 million contingencies or 25 million end states of the contract. So we have to count for all 25 million of those plus business logic. So you just need like some very competent people to take a lot of time to figure all that out. And it's like, yeah, so I don't really worry too much about proprietary. Like, I would help people try and do what we're doing. It's like, it's literally that hard,
Yeah. Well, I mean, but again, like it's, so if like you were doing like a grassroots thing and you just wanted people to try to build some capital or whatever, I mean, other than going to basically your local rich guy and being like, hey, like I'm pitching him your business model and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But if like, do you have like a GoFundMe or
no
something else?
Yeah. So
like just like a grassroots group of people could buy like a share or a stock. It's not like you're public, but
right.
You know what I mean?
Yes. So to invest in like a startup, like first of all, it should be the last thing you ever do. Like you should have like a property, you should be invested in like bonds, the S&P 500. You should be like in the position to be like an LP in like a private equity fund, or like there's so many things you should do before you invest in like an early stage startup. And like my checks that I didn't know that, right? Like I just like was like, oh, I was really good at lending. I have some money, I can like help other people. And for me, it was more about help, but like you definitely shouldn't do it because it's probably going to go to zero and it's super risky. But for me, like it was really the business school, like leveraging my business school network. So like from that network, I received like 110 warm intros to like venture capital funds. And like, I have heard no, or my idea is shitty or can be replicated or whatever, like 110 times. Right. But out of the 110 times, like one person it's like an industry specific investor, they're a publicly traded company. One person got what we were doing. And he was like, hey, we will invest in you and we'll help you find like a lead, like someone else to lead the round. And they gave me like a very clear revenue metric that we need to hit. So it's really just persistence. And then
love that real quick to that. I love that. That's a great example. Like you're going to get hundreds of no's and then eventually you're going to get that yes. And you didn't give up and you were persistent, like that's a great message. That goes back to what we were talking about earlier about failing and, being told no, or you can't do it, but you just kept going. And then eventually you got someone on the hook.
We're not there yet. Like they gave us a bar. And so now it's like, I know the bar I need to get, and we could get to that bar. And especially in technology, like it's a terrible time to be doing anything touching software because a lot of people just think like AI is going to take over.
AI is taking over,
which is that's not going to happen. People said the same thing about the computer. Like when the PC was like rolling out, but I
watched iRobot and Terminator and all that shit. I don't know.
But we could get to this revenue bar that these guys set, and I could come back around to them and they can be like, oh, like I read an article in The Economist and like I changed my, like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just, and then the type of people you can raise money from, those have to be like accredited investors. Like, can I do a GoFundMe? Like, absolutely not. The person, an accredited investor needs to have, I think it's like 200, I forget. Oh, it's $1 million in assets, or they make like $250,000 a year. And then you're an accredited investor. And that's like the pool of people you can raise money from. So it's a small pool to start.
That's crazy that in order to be an accredited investor, you have to be basically fairly rich. That's not.
Yeah.
Like you be in a certain tax bracket for that.
Yeah. I mean, because you would think that in order, like you could, yeah, every now and then you'll see like people that are like, hey, like I've got this product or this thing, you know, like why it doesn't make any sense that they can't just be like pitch their pitch and then like start like a GoFundMe and like have a grassroots like people that are like, hey, like I'm not going to give you $1 million and expect 10% of your company, but I'm going to give you $5 because I believe in you and your product, and like go ahead, like because you pitch them. But you know what I mean? Like it's weird that you can't do that.
Yeah, it's like it's a consumer protection thing from like the federal government's angle, I suppose. And there's like I would say like I'm like 50-50 on it. Like I think a lot of people lost if you look at like crypto, right? Like you didn't need to be an accredited investor in crypto. And like if you look at what happened there, like yeah, like you hear about the winners, but like every winner you hear about, there's probably like 10 to 20 losers. So I think in the regulator's mind, people capable of making that amount of money are capable of like, number one, if they lose the investment, it's not going to like put them out of house and home.
Yeah, they're
and
fine.
Then second, they're like more sophisticated. And I think like the flip to that is, you know, the everyday American can't invest in their cousin's company or their brother's company or something like that, you know? And then those returns are extremely outsized, but those outsized returns reflect the risk involved, which is, you know, generally when someone's trying to start a company to like really grow it and scale it across the country and have like an exit, the chances of that happening, regardless of who you are very, very small, like much less than 1%.
Damn. Interesting. Yeah, this is some good stuff. Yeah. So I had a question, but I lost my
How
train of
does your
thought.
app work as far as like, and I mean, I get that like, so it basically fills in the blanks for all of the real estate forms that you're using for the transaction. But do the TCs do they subscribe to your to the app? Do they pay like a monthly fee? Like how is that works?
Yeah, so we charge per transaction. So we don't make money unless like the person is making money. Like the, you know, like it might be a solo agent, it might be a transaction coordinator. We actually sell it as like a compliance system. So we replace like a software called SkySlope. Because since our software is doing the work, the real estate agents have to, and brokerages, they have to document all the communication, all the paperwork on like basically a glorified template driven shared drive. If the software is the thing doing the work and then it's also documenting the work, that like removes that layer essentially. But yeah, we charge per transaction. So it's not like a monthly cost, because a lot of agents, they'll do 1 or 2 deals a quarter and that's like fine for them, you know, the majority. And then there's a small number that do a decent amount, where like our unit economics still make sense for them. So
yeah.
Sorry, my son was texting me.
No worries.
He's in Hawaii as well.
So where are you at now, Zach? You still live in Hawaii? Yeah, obviously, I'm assuming. Yeah.
No, I live in San Francisco now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I love it. I did not think I was gonna love it, and I do. It's a cool city. I'm a fan. So
exciting. So what else is going on? Any other business ventures, or this is your baby right now, or you got some things in mind? It looks like it's always going out.
This is pretty much it. Yeah, I pretty much just work on this all the time. So yeah.
That sounds excruciating. Like it's like this is all I do.
Yeah, I mean the mortgage lending stuff was a roller coaster, but it's like, you know, like within the week if the person you talk to is going to work with you or something like that.
Yeah.
This is like a much larger time horizon. Like generally, like I have to sell investors, but I have to sell my clients. And then like the time horizon is like for a brokerage to switch off their compliance system is going to be like 2-3 months. Like a venture capitalist or an investor generally is going to watch the business for anywhere from like 3 to 6 months. So like, if I had a no when I was lending or I was down in the dumps, I could make like 5 more calls and like be back on the up. But the sales cycle for this is so much longer. The roller coaster, the highs and lows are the highs are short and the lows are long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
So
there? I don't know if you might have mentioned it earlier. Is this just your baby, or are you doing this with a couple of buddies, or like, I mean, what is it? How many people does it take to run this operation, or obviously get started, but yeah, what does that look like?
Yeah, so I have a technical co-founder. He's like a software engineer. I also have another software engineer that formerly was at like Compass, which is a tech-enabled real estate brokerage. And then I have someone who helps out with sales as well. So it's me and 3. Yeah, I mean it's fun to have a small team. I mean
It is.
yeah.
It is. And it might not be something that has to necessarily expand either as you guys expand into different states, right? Like you get that locked in, every compliance stuff squared away, you move on to the next state. It just doesn't feel like you would need additional people. I could be wrong on this, but the way the system works and the way it operates, it doesn't sound like it would necessarily need more people.
Yeah, I mean, it just that's to the point of like, what do we want to do with it? Like,
Yep.
we can't really like cover our nut in Hawaii alone, just because it's like a small transaction volume and we charge per transaction. We could cover our nut very easily in California with like this. Like, I could be profitable with the same market penetration in California. It's just a matter of that's not what I want to do. Like I want to
Right.
like change how transactions work across the country. So yeah, like we'll grow for sure. But it is nice with like the AI stuff. You can do a lot more with a lot less.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah,
It's insane.
crazy.
I mean, we've had several guests on, right, that are all into the AI stuff and the stuff that it can do, like all the different systems, and it's extremely interesting. It's I mean, I do
Yeah.
all of our product posts, just simple stuff like that. AI, just put it in there. It's wild. It's wild
Yeah.
the stuff that it can do.
Yeah.
I think it is going to take over. Just saying.
Yeah. No, I think
Completely.
it's gonna take over, but I don't think it's gonna like some people may like there may be some job loss, but like I can just say right now from like selling an awesome product that does make a lot of things like efficient, like people are just slow to change.
Well,
You
there's
know?
also
Like-
there's also the moral argument about whether if being efficient is morally like correct, I guess, because at the end of the day, if AI does do all of the things more efficiently than, but then there are like say that we get AI to do everything we want. We're living in this utopia, right? Where like we don't have to work or do anything, and we just get paid.
Elon Musk talks about that in an
Yeah,
interview.
we just
Yeah.
get paid.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, it looks a lot like Wally. You know what I mean? You're just floating around, and humans with no goal or ambition. We've seen that in like with people that get out of the military, right? Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's just it's. I think it's going to be an interesting debate in the future as to like there is a place for AI, but how far we let it go and where we pull the reins back on it to figure out where a happy medium is, where everybody's happy, I think, or where the most people are happy.
I think like a couple things. So I did like one of my capstone like research papers at like U Chicago. I compared like the AI revolution to like the personal computer. And like through that, if you look at like the bank teller, so like so first of all, you can go back to like the refrigerator and the milkman.
Yep.
Like makes sense, right? The PC, everybody thought like, okay, like there's going to be no assistants or secretaries and all that stuff. Didn't happen, hasn't happened, still not happening. The bank teller, when people said ATMs, there's not going to be bank tellers. Like what actually reduced bank tellers was like the smartphone and the phone application. So I think I think a lot of the claims that like a lot of the leaders in the space make is really just like a fundraising effort. And then if you look at like Anthropic's most capable model, Mythos, they deployed that to like a very small set of companies because of its like capabilities. And then they released a tempered down version called Fable 5. And that was only on for a day and a half until someone found like an exploit and that got taken off. So there's like a very realistic scenario where we're sort of, I don't want to say stuck, but like pretty close to the peak of where we're going to be for a little bit until everybody figures out how to deploy. And like they talk about safety a lot. I believe them for that. Like you can't have a super smart system in everybody's pocket per se, because the threat is literally too high. So like that model Mythos has been out for 6 months and like the public doesn't have it. Yeah. So like you could say like the capabilities, yes, could result in like a utopia, but the implementation, it's not the capabilities per se, it's the implementation, I think, that matters more than the capabilities.
Yeah, I think that, but I think there definitely has to be a serious discussion about global regulation of the use of AI and
For sure.
and what we're able to do with it, just like any other, like, I mean, you know, when nukes were like became a thing, you know, we had to have a serious sit down about, you know, where you could use them, where you can't use them, what makes sense for like humanity as a whole, and how we're going to use these to better people's lives and not to like, because, you know, AI to me is, I mean, it's just as dangerous as a nuke in the wrong hands. Like you can, you can do way worse with AI, or, you know, than you can with like you shut down a grid. Like, people are done.
No.
Yeah,
I think they're on top of it though with a lot of that stuff. There were some in the recent months where people like literally planned out how to like unalive somebody, you know, and murder. And there was that one guy, but then I think it automatically, they have systems in place now where it, contacts the FBI if you're like talking about crazy stuff like that. But I mean, it's still dangerous.
That's a completely other.
Right. Then what is being monitored? What isn't being monitored? Right. And then it's like, exactly.
Which has nothing to do with real estate transactions. So we've gone down the AI rabbit hole far.
AI is fun. It's always a fun discussion. But then we talk about the AI, like, ChatGPT, Grok, whatever. And then you got Elon Musk talking about Neuralink, where you're going to have a chip implanted into your head. You're not even going to need any of that other shit anymore. I mean, with this chip, eventually 10 years down the road, you can learn a foreign language just like that, That one guy has it. The first person who got Neuralink implanted, and he like controls a computer with like the Neuralink in his head. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he sits there and plays fucking video games and shit. Like literally just watch.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. Yeah.
It's insane. And Elon is trying to do cool stuff where you can walk again, you can see again, which I'm all for. But then it's like, as it progresses, wait, now you can just be the smartest motherfucker, and then like the people that don't get it will be left behind. And then everybody is forced to get it. And then you have this chip in your head where, is there a freaking kill switch? And then it's all done. That's why it's like, is Elon Musk the Antichrist, or is he the freaking best person in the world, But anyway, I just went off on a big tangent. But that stuff's wild. ChatGPT, all that won't matter, man. You just get that Neuralink in your head, What?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know. I think things will happen slower than what everybody thinks, personally. And
we shall see.
Like I said, I think we're already seeing that a little bit, but yeah.
That's what's up. Well, this was a good time. Go ahead, buddy. What?
I said right now they're trying to figure out where to build data centers, and the power. We don't have the infrastructure for it to grow at this point.
We don't.
That's another real constraint.
Yep. True.
See what happens.
I'll tell you what, it makes a hell of a logo if you're trying to make a logo. You just chat GTP it up.
Oh yeah. No,
it does.
That's the other thing that I think is super funny is that
I love it.
Talk about people talk about like AI and it get misused. Probably 90% of AI is like just stupid at like how do I cook pancakes? Like possibly that should be regulated as well. How stupid is the question that you can ask ChatGPT or ChatGPT says, read a book, dog? Like, no, like I'm not telling you.
You don't have to read the book. You tell ChatGPT, tell me about this book, and it'll give you all the freaking highlights like that, Yeah.
Like I said, there should be at some point a level of like where the AI is smart enough to be like, don't waste my time, dude. Like
Yeah.
I got other people over here asking me real questions. You're asking
Yeah.
me stupid shit. I don't want to deal with it.
What
Like,
I think is crazy, real quick to the AI thing, because I still had some GI Bill left, so I'm finishing up my degree, and I do it online full time. But bro, the amount of discussion posts in college were
Oh yeah.
like it is. We had to do our very first class was about using AI. Like if you have a paper and you wanted to like grade your paper, cool. But like these kids are posting shit and adults.
they're stupid
And the dash
because
is
they're
still in there. They're like
stupid.
completely using AI for
They're
everything.
stupid. You know what? I had a buddy of mine that he's really into like he uses AI for a lot of things, and he just finished his master's degree. And he was like, people that use AI to write their papers and do their things, they're just using it incorrectly and they're stupid. He's like, you should use AI like a staff, like a military staff. You
Mhm.
ask it
Yep.
to gather you information so that you can learn. And then like I used to use it when I was doing my degree. I used it all the time to write my outline, like to come up with an outline.
That's
So
what
I
my
didn't
college
waste
said too. The
time.
class we took, use it for ideas, get
Yep.
you
So I
started,
didn't
and
have to
then
waste
yeah,
time with the freaking cloud and like
yeah.
writing all these other like I would say, hey, like this is what I want to like. This is what I'm thinking I want to do. Give me an outline that kind of like hits that up, and then I would like okay, and then I would just type it up. Like you're just but you're using it like a staff, like your S1. You know what I mean?
People
Like
are posting like,
write
and then
that
the
up,
references don't even match what AI is because
dude.
AI will fuck up
Oh,
massively.
AI
It'll
will
Yeah.
fuck up.
just make up references,
And
dog.
I'm
It
like,
Yeah.
will
holy
just
shit,
like
why?
throw
I'm
some
like, I
shit
can't
out
believe
there
that
that
they're. And then I'm
doesn't
like, oh,
exist.
this person's not going to be here in a week. And then I'm like, the end of the unit, and I'm like, this motherfucker just got 3 credits. Like, and they
Yeah.
have the dashes in there, and then the references don't match what it's saying. It has nothing to do with what we were supposed to read. Blows my mind. Like, that's where AI needs to be controlled, where colleges have to get after it for some. I don't
Full
know.
circle
Can they even?
back to the erosive empathy thing. That's where wait, we have to hold people to a standard. Like if you turn in an AI paper, you failed. You cheated. Get the fuck out of here. Like you didn't learn
Yeah.
anything. And that's the point of the like of what we're doing is for you to learn. You didn't, so bye. You're gone. Like
It's
but they
wild.
won't. They'll just like whatever, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I use it. I think I use it for like, so I do make products. Like we have like a company investment memo that's like kind of our thesis. And like, I obviously have a deck and stuff like that. And like, I don't know, like I do use it to help me do research, but I do double check the research. I'll have it do the outlines. And in like some cases in our like investment memo, like I just, yeah, I provide the bullet points and then I kind of like edit, like I'm the editor and it's the writer. So that's
Mhm.
but a lot of people do it the other way where they're the writer and the AI is the editor. I have the AI be the writer and then I'm the editor. And then I like double check for the BS and like, I don't know. I think it still works my brain out the same way it would if I wrote it down. I think it just saved me time. But like, I don't know. I think it's just how you got to figure out what works
I use
for
it.
you.
I use it in college. I'll do an entire paper. I write it, and then I put it in there and be like, grade this shit. And a lot
Yeah.
of systems, that the college provides can do that for you anyway. But it's great,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a safe way to use it. Like, but I
Yeah.
use it for product posts for veteran trash talk. I put a shirt in there, and I'm like, put this shirt on a freaking stud or a good looking dude, and then fucking just puts it on there, And it's like,
Yeah.
make me a product post, and then it'll make me the product post. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But
It's
anyway,
cool.
yeah. Well, this was fun. Well, you guys got anything else or no?
I don't think so.
No.
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 I'm excited to see where this goes. If you venture on into Arizona eventually, we'll definitely have to have a sit down. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
And that's where the team is rocking and rolling. And then we are obviously nationwide as well, but we'll have to grab some coffee or something or jump on a Zoom call or, maybe see what we can do. But
Yeah, let's do
for
it.
anybody that's watching, if you're watching right now, this was our season finale. So we will be back in August. We're going to be enjoying the summer with our families and friends. And yeah, final last words, Zach, and then I'll close us out.
I had no idea it was a season finale, but hopefully
It
it's
sure
a
was.
season finale worthy. So no, it was
Season
cool.
4
Thanks
is
for having
done.
me. It was fun. Yeah. Super
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Thanks for having you on, and thanks for coming on, brother. I look forward to your expansion to California and then the rest of the country, and then maybe global.
Yeah.
Who knows? That'll be fun. If you tuned in late, go to VeteranTrashTalk.com. That is our website where you can grab the links to everything, where you can rewatch, re-listen. Go to shop.VeteranTrashTalk.com. Buy the awesome World Cup shirt. Okay, we made it out of group play. We might win next week, but then America.
We are gonna win it all.
I'm putting it out there.
We're winning it
France,
all.
Spain, or Argentina. And if I had to pick those one of those three, it's going to be Argentina.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, we're number one. We're going to win. We're going to destroy these other teams. Also, Spain and Argentina, suck it. It's what you get for hiding the Nazis.
Catch you guys.
We're coming after you. We're going to beat you this year. Yep.
All right. Cut it, Chris. We'll catch you guys in August. Love y'all. Faceman VTT out. Boom.